Welcome. We are on day 26 of the chronological Bible in a year. Take a breath and take a moment to celebrate that you have set this time aside to hear God's word. Let's begin. Job chapter 26. Then Job responded, "What a help you are to the weak! You have saved the arm without strength. What advice you have given to one without wisdom! What helpful insight you have abundantly provided! To whom have you uttered words, and whose spirit was expressed through you? The departed spirits are made to tremble under the waters and their inhabitants. Sheol is naked before him, and Abaddon has no covering. He stretches out the north over empty space and hangs the earth on nothing. He wraps up the waters in his clouds, and the cloud does not burst under them. He obscures the face of the moon and spreads his cloud over it. He has inscribed a circle on the surface of the waters at the boundary of light and darkness. The pillars of heaven tremble and are amazed at his rebuke. With his power he quieted the sea, and by his understanding he shattered Rahab. By his breath the heavens are cleared. His hand has pierced the fleeting serpent. Behold, these are the fringes of his ways, and how faint a word we hear of him. But his mighty thunder, who can understand?" Job chapter 27. Job again took up his discourse and said, "As God lives, who has taken away my right, and the Almighty who has embittered my soul? For as long as life is in me, and the breath of God is in my nostrils, my lips certainly will not speak unjustly, nor will my tongue mutter deceit. Far be it from me that I should declare you right. Until I die, I will not give up my integrity. I have kept hold of my righteousness and will not let it go. My heart does not rebuke any of my days. May my enemy be as the wicked, and my opponent as the criminal. For what is the hope of the godless when he makes an end of life, when God requires his life? Will God hear his cry when distress comes upon him? Or will he take pleasure in the Almighty when he call on God at all times? I will instruct you in the power of God. What is with the Almighty I will not conceal. Behold, all of you have seen it. Why then do you talk of nothing? This is the portion of a wicked person from God, and the inheritance which tyrants receive from the Almighty. Though his sons are many, they are destined for the sword, and his descendants will not be satisfied with bread. His survivors will be buried because of the plague, and their widows will not be able to weep. Though he piles up silver like dust, and prepares garments as plentiful as the clay, he may prepare it, but the righteous will wear it, and the innocent will divide the silver. He has built his house like the spider's web, or a hut which the watchman has made. He lies down rich, but never again. He opens his eyes, and it no longer exists. Terrors overtake him like a flood. A storm steals him away in the night. The east wind carries him away, and he is gone, for it sweeps him away from his place. For it will hurl at him without mercy. He will certainly try to flee from its power. People will clap their hands at him and will whistle at him from their places." My apologies. Job chapter 28. Certainly there is a mine for silver and a place for refining gold. Iron is taken from the dust, and copper is smelted from rock. Man puts an end to darkness, and to the farthest limit he searches out the rock in gloom and deep shadow. He sinks a shaft away from him, away from inhabited areas forgotten by the foot. They hang and swing away from people. From the earth comes food, and underneath it, it is turned over like fire. Its rocks are the source of sapphires, and its dust contains gold. No bird of prey knows the path, nor has the falcon's eye caught sight of it. The proud animals have not trodden it, nor has the lion passed over it. He puts his hand on the flint. He overturns the mountains at the base. He carves out the channels through the rocks, and his eye sees anything precious. He dams up the streams from flowing, and he brings to light what is hidden. But where can wisdom be found, and where is the place of understanding? Mankind does not know its value, nor is it found in the land of the living. The ocean depth says, "It is not in me," and the sea says, "It is not with me." Pure gold cannot be given in exchange for it, nor can silver be weighed as its price. It cannot be valued in the gold of Ophir, the precious onyx or sapphire. Gold or glass cannot equal it, nor can it be exchanged for articles of pure gold. Coral and crystal are not to be mentioned, and the acquisition of wisdom is more valuable than pearls. The topaz of Cush cannot equal it, nor can it be valued in pure gold. Where then does wisdom come from? And where is this place of understanding? It is hidden from the eyes of every living creature and concealed from the birds of the sky. Abaddon and Death say, "With our ears we have heard a report of it." God understands its way, and he knows its place. For he looks to the ends of the earth. He sees everything under the heavens. When he imparted weight to the wind and assessed the waters by measure, when he made a limit for the rain and a course for the thunderbolt, then he saw it and declared it. He established it and also searched it out. And to mankind he said, "Behold, the fear of the Lord, that is wisdom, and to turn away from evil is understanding." Job chapter 29. Job again took up his discourse and said, "Oh, that I were as in the months gone by, and in the days when God watched over me, when his lamp shone over my head, and by his light I walked through darkness, just as I was in the days of my youth. When the protection of God was over my tent, when the Almighty was still with me, and my children were around me, when my steps were bathed in cream, and the rock poured out streams of oil for me, when I went out to the gate of the city, when I took my seat in the public square, the young men saw me and hid themselves, and the old men arose and stood. The leaders stopped talking and put their hands on their mouths. The voices of the prominent people were hushed, and the tongues stuck to their palates. For when an ear heard, it called me blessed, and when an eye saw, it testified in support of me, because I saved the poor who cried for help, and an orphan who had no helper. The blessing of one who was about to perish came upon me, and I made the widow's heart sing for joy. I put on righteousness, and it clothed me. My justice was like a robe and a headband. I was eyes to those who were blind, and feet to those who could not walk. I was a father to the poor, and I investigated the case which I did not know. I broke the jaws of the wicked and rescued the prey from his teeth. Then I thought, I will die with my family, and I will multiply my days as the sand. My root is spread out to the waters, and dew lies on my branch all night. My glory is ever new with me, and my bow is renewed in my hand. To me they listened and waited, and they kept silent for my advice. After my words, they did not speak again, and my speech dropped on them. They waited for me as for the rain, and opened their mouths as for the late rain. I smiled at them when they did not believe, and they did not look at my kindness ungraciously. I chose a way for them and sat as a chief, and lived as a king among the troops, as one who comforted the mourners. Thank you for listening. I pray that the seed of God's word will be planted in your heart and will continue to grow.